Chelsea's Havertz hopes, Zaha's on PSG radar, Mourinho wants Perisic again, a transfer roundup, and today's Thursday favourites all coming up in the next few minutes, as I'm your host, Matt Froelich. You are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So, first up, and apparently Chelsea have lodged around a £70 million bid for Kai Havertz. Now, it's no surprise that a lot of Bundesliga talents are being linked with Premier League moves, because, well, the Premier League's the one with all the money. But if, and it's a big if, Frank Lampard managed to get the signature over the line and bring Havertz into the club from Leverkusen, it will be a ridiculous deal. We're not just talking any transfer here, we're talking one of the best prospects in Europe at the moment, and along with this, Chelsea are probably one of the best teams, certainly the best up-and-coming teams in the Premier League. They've got a young attacking side led by a young attacking manager, and Havertz would fit into the system so well. I mean, it probably wouldn't work out so well for Mason Mount, but I guess that's the whole nature of progress. Anyway, of course there will be some competition. Manchester United are said to be interested because it's them and they're interested in absolutely bloody everybody. Real Madrid alongside this and Liverpool as well, but it looks like Chelsea aren't really hanging about. They didn't hang about with the Timo Werner deal that looks set to be completed in the next few days, and they certainly don't look to be hanging around with Kai Havertz. The one problem is in fact the transfer fee. 70 million euros really isn't that much for someone who could go on to be a world beater, and it looks like Leverkusen either want to hold on to him for another season or get at least 100 million out of any prospective buyer. But talking of big money, and of course we have to mention PSG because they're interested in Wilfried Zaha. The Crystal Palace winger has been touted to join quite a few Premier League clubs because it looks like, and he said a lot of times, he wants to play in the Champions League. No offense to Crystal Palace fans, it's just not happening anytime soon. Maybe not in like the next decade, unless you get some sort of Newcastle-style takeover. But anyway, the thing is with Wilfried Zaha is that he was linked to loads of Premier League clubs, but I'm not so sure they're going to trust him again. The point in case being that when he moved to Manchester United, he played 2 games in the whole season, was then sent back on loan, now finds himself at Crystal Palace. The thing for me is, Wilfried Zaha needs to be that main guy in the team. He's Crystal Palace's focal point. Like if he tries something outrageous and it doesn't quite come off, everyone knows that he's capable of it and they're willing to give him time and chance on the ball again and again and again. So he goes ahead and produces this. The pressure at a top level club is kind of different. Personally, I think PSG would be a good fit for Zaha. He'll play in the Champions League, he'll win quite a few trophies there, and he'll be one of those luxury players where he kind of is afforded the time to go ahead and, do all the tricks and all the skills that we're used to seeing from Zaha. I don't think another English club would take a gamble on him, especially as Crystal Palace are holding out for around 75 million. Even without the impact of COVID-19 on the transfer market, that is still a hell of a lot of money. PSG have just splashed out 50 million or so on Mauro Icardi, but money's never stopped them before, so I don't think it will stop them again should Wilfried Zaha become available. But moving on now and to Tottenham and Jose Mourinho, who is still trying to sign Ivan Perisic. Apparently he wanted the midfielder when he was at Manchester United, and he still wants him now whilst he's at Spurs. The thing is, Bayern Munich are still deciding whether or not they're going to sign him on a permanent contract. So Perisic is on loan from Inter Milan, and around 10 million euros will get the deal done. You may be thinking that's maybe not so much money for a player with Champions League experience and who was in the World Cup final around 2 years ago, but on the flip side of this, he is still a very, very good player, and he is 31 years old, so I'm not sure he's going to go for too much money. The thing at Bayern is that he's been a squad player. Like, when everybody's fit, Gnabry, Coman, they definitely start out wide. If they're going to bring in Leroy Sané in the summer, which it looks increasingly likely that they will, that's another player that Perisic is going to have to kick out the team to get a starting spot. I don't quite see that happening, and a move to Tottenham maybe is a step down. Who are we kidding? It's definitely a step down, and it breaks my heart. But he's more likely to get far more game time. We all know that Heung-min Son has injuries on the odd occasion. Harry Kane definitely has injuries. And apart from that, Spurs are in desperate need of another winger. Lucas Moura doesn't show up enough, and Steven Bergwijn's only just joined the club, and it remains to be seen whether or not he'll come good. Personally, I think Perisic will be a good signing for Mourinho. As we mentioned before, if Bayern are thinking about 10 million and he goes back to Inter, they're not going to charge more than like 15 or 20. So either way, it would be a pretty good deal for them. Next up to a bit of a transfer roundup that you might have missed from yesterday and this morning. And Manchester United have apparently opened talks with the agent of Corentin Tolisso with a view to bringing him into Old Trafford. Southampton have been told by Groningen that they'll need to pay between 3 and 4 million euros to bring in fullback Deo Zafuik. I'm not sure that's how you say his name, but you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Moving on, and in the most American thing ever, the MLS is going to be restarting on the 8th of July with a month-long tournament to be held at Disney World. And lastly but not least, Atletico Madrid president Enrique Cerezo has said that Atletico Madrid should be awarded the Champions League title if the competition isn't finished. His reason behind it is that they beat Liverpool, and Liverpool were last season's Champions League winners. Technically, that makes sense, right? Sounds like some kids' playground stuff. But anyway, you can't blame a guy for trying. So lastly but not least, we come to Thursday favourites. This is where you guys ask me a question in the comment section every Thursday about my favourite something or other in football. So this weekend, Suraj Gopinath has asked Matt who your 5 favourite loanees from this season. And there have been some fantastic signings. And honestly, I really think the loans are a pretty good deal. So we'll kick things off at number 5, and it's Mauro Icardi. I mean, obviously, this is something that was definitely going to turn into a permanent transfer for PSG, but they bought an Icardi on loan. He scored a bag full of goals like you expected he would, and you couldn't really ask much else from that from a striker. Second on the list, and it's Harry Wilson. 7 goals in around 27 appearances for Bournemouth, and he's really given Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp a lot to think about. Personally, I think he's a brilliant player. He's shown last season at Derby County, this season at Bournemouth on loan, that he is an excellent and definitely a player of top flight standard. The problem is he's never going to break in ahead of the likes of Mane, Salah and Firmino. Like, those are the best front 3 in the world. So how is Harry Wilson expected to get proper game time? He has extended his loan to Bournemouth to cover the end of the 2019-20 season. And, well, I really think he should consider a permanent transfer away from Liverpool. Number 3, and it's Angelino. Now, he actually went to PSV from Manchester City, went back to Manchester City, and found game time hard to come by in the first few months of the season. And he's only been on loan at Leipzig since January, but my word, what an impact he has had. Flying down that left wing, the way Leipzig and the way Nagelsmann play really suits him. He's put an assist after assist and really helped them as they have made it to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Next up, and Dean Henderson. Honestly, this one baffles me. Like, he is so good on loan that he's even been talked about as being England's number 1 and Manchester United's number 1, replacing David De Gea. Honestly, that's how good Henderson has been at Sheffield United. Technically, he is still on loan for a 2nd season, or maybe a 3rd season. Whatever he's doing things right. I think he's got the 2nd highest amount of clean sheets in the Premier League. And yeah, he's just a fantastic goalkeeper. If Sheffield United can make this permanent, which no offence, I doubt they can, it'll be an unbelievable signing. And last but not least, number 1, and I'm going to say this, it's going to be tough. For me, at the moment, he's the number 1 right back in the world. That is Achraf Hakimi. On loan, on a 2-year loan from Real Madrid to Dortmund. It's seemingly nothing that the fullback slash winger slash right forward can't do. In fact, he can play on the other side of the pitch as well. There's goals, there's assists, there's an insane amount of speed, great fitness, and everything he's bringing to the team is absolutely brilliant. In fact, Danny Carvajal is going to have quite the struggle on his hands to keep his space in the first team should Hakimi return to Real Madrid for next season. So there you have it. There are my 5 favourite loanees from this season. You guys let me know yours in the comment section down below and your thoughts on the rest of today's daily news. Whilst you're at it, you can smash the like button, click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, have a great day and I'll see you guys later.